10th, Kit Fisto. He seems like just another cannon fodder, disposable background character. His disastrous end in the fight against Palpatine certainly reinforces that impression. But he's a Nautolan, meaning he can breathe and fight underwater. In the right scenario, he could use his biological advantages to overpower almost anyone. His joyful, warm heart may seem like a disadvantage, but it's a trait of empathy, which he can use to read people and anticipate their moves. We also know that a good heart, turned towards evil, can amplify the connection with the Force. After all, it is the passion of the Sith that the Jedi try so hard to avoid, the same passion that makes the dark side so intense and powerful. And if he fell to the dark side and gained access to Force lightning, he could combine it with an aquatic environment to amplify the attack through water conductivity, assuming he wouldn't fry himself in the process.
9th, Plo Koon. Speaking of Force lightning, we have Plo Koon, who already masters a version of this ability while still on the light side. In fact, he's the only Jedi known to use this power, which is usually associated with the Sith. He is also one of the few Jedi who could survive in the vacuum of space. A Sith Plo Koon would be virtually indestructible in environments that would end anyone else. Another problem to deal with a dark side Plo Koon is how he would know exactly the ways to manipulate and command armies, since he trained and was deeply loved by the clone troopers. Let's be honest, his imposing appearance already fits the dark side perfectly. As a bonus, he was Ahsoka Tano's first mentor, which could cause additional damage to the Jedi Order, depending on how it affected her.
8th, Ezra Bridger. Born on the same day as the Galactic Empire, Ezra is part of the very foundation of the rebellion and the new generation of Jedi after the fall of the Order. However, throughout his journey, he flirted multiple times with the dark side, even being tempted by Darth Maul and nearly becoming his apprentice. Smart, full of potential, and one of the galaxy's last hopes against Darth Sidious, his fall would be a devastating blow to the Resistance. His Force abilities are also uniquely dangerous, since he has a rare gift for connecting with living creatures through the Force. As a Sith, he could corrupt, dominate, and weaponize animals and beasts on a massive scale. 7th, Rey. Let's pretend the Mickey trilogy actually happened and wasn't a collective hallucination. Rey is an absurdly powerful Force user, arguably too powerful, self-taught, and basically plays the story on easy mode. Honestly, it's easy to imagine a better story where she becomes the dark side protagonist, and Kylo Ren stays on the light side. With their roles reversed, Luke could remain true to his character, and the legacy of the original films might have been better preserved. Rey's dark side potential is so strong it could practically save an entire trilogy, assuming J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson stayed far away from the script. In other words, Rey has so much power that she can break the fourth wall and impact the feelings of the fans. On the light side, she managed to cause terrible feelings in the audience. Perhaps on the dark side of the Force, she could reverse those feelings and improve the reputation of an entire trilogy. 6th, Mace Windu. The most powerful master in the Jedi Order already flirts with the dark side through an aggressive combat style known as Vapad. His lightsaber dueling skills were even above Yoda and Anakin. He also had quite a reputation, which would bring internal upheavals to the Jedi Council, just as happened with the fall of Count Dooku. If he fully embraced the dark side, the destruction would be unimaginable. Just imagine the fight between Windu, Palpatine, and Anakin if the toughest Jedi in the Order decided to swap his purple lightsaber for a red one, just to see what happens. At that point, the new Emperor of the Galaxy might even boss around the Avengers. 5th, Ahsoka Tano. One of the best characters in the saga, it's honestly painful to imagine the girl we watched grow up during the Clone Wars falling to the dark side. Brave, loyal, and compassionate, she embodies what a Jedi should be. But as they say, the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. Trained personally by Anakin Skywalker, she developed exceptional combat skills and learned to think outside the box. Her mentor taught her to be bold and unpredictable, traits that made her a great hero,
but could also shape an even more ruthless villain. She also experiences and plays a leading role in important moments throughout the Clone Wars, the rebellion against the Empire, and the period after the fall of the Empire. Losing a Jedi who is so crucial throughout the three main eras that the galaxy has experienced would perhaps be an irreparable blow to the light side.
Fourth, Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon might not be the best fighter on this list, but the man has charisma. Widely considered one of the wisest Jedi, he was an independent thinker with a balanced view of the Force, and notably, the first Jedi known to return as a Force ghost. His fall would have major consequences, for two reasons. First, he had many allies and was a skilled diplomat, capable of forming powerful alliances against the Republic, alongside Count Dooku. Second, his fall could prevent Yoda and Obi-Wan from learning how to become Force ghosts, a crucial ability for preserving Jedi knowledge and completing Luke's training. Because of his calm nature, he might become a very different kind of Sith, one who controls his anger. That alone could attract more Jedi and potentially form a rival dark-side faction against Sidious.
Third, Yoda. You might have expected Yoda to be number one, and honestly, he's a strong contender. Our little green friend is the Grand Master of the Jedi Order, possesses immense knowledge of the Force, and can still make Count Dooku retreat at 900 years old, while holding a cane. His fall to the dark side would be shocking. If Yoda can fall, then any Jedi can be corrupted. After all, knowing that even the leader of the Order and greatest symbol of peace and wisdom would be subject to losing the internal battle against the evil that exists within himself, this would break the trust of countless Jedi. During his journey to Moraband, he confronts his own dark side, proving that even he isn't immune to darkness. Like Qui-Gon, he could guide others toward the dark side and rule the galaxy through power and fear. With both power and influence, he would undoubtedly become one of the most terrifying dark side users of all time.
Second, Luke Skywalker. Son of Anakin, the journey of the saga's greatest hero was filled with temptations toward the dark side. A simple farm boy from Tatooine, with nothing but his aunt and uncle, chose to challenge the Empire and fight for his beliefs. With only a few hours of training from Old Ben, he already understood the Force well enough to use it against the Death Star, becoming a symbol of the rebellion. Not to mention, he rescued Princess Leia with nothing but courage, charisma, madness, and a bit of plot armor, without even knowing she was his sister. It's hard to reconcile that same guy, who believed there was still good in Darth Vader, even after losing his hand, with the version that abandoned his nephew and went into exile drinking blue milk. But that's a discussion for another time. The point is, Luke represents heroism, hope, and resilience. If the galaxy's greatest hero had fallen at the moment when the light side needed him most, that message of hope, that good can prevail, would never have inspired millions. He was the only hope for the light side of the Force during its most critical moment. So if he fell, the galaxy would be condemned to a long period of darkness.
1. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan isn't as powerful as Anakin, Luke, Yoda, or Windu. He's also flawed, not as influential, and not as persuasive as Qui-Gon. But one thing is certain. At any point in the saga, if Obi-Wan had fallen to the dark side, the consequences would be catastrophic. From the Phantom Menace, when he avenges Qui-Gon and defeats Darth Maul, his actions reveal the return of the Sith, save Naboo from separatist control, and delay Sidious's plans. If he hadn't trained Anakin, Sidious might have discovered him much earlier, turning him into a more ruthless and less conflicted weapon in far less time. His role in the lives of Anakin, Luke, and even Ahsoka is absolutely crucial to the biggest victories of the light side. Whether as a warrior or mentor, it's undeniable. His fall would trigger a chain of disastrous events.
Do you agree with the list? Please leave your opinion in the comments. It will be a pleasure to know your opinion and what your top 10 would be. If you liked the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. The force within you makes our council more powerful,